Right, hiya lads and lasses, welcome to Darts Coaching with Dynamite Dave, and it's the second play along practice. So hopefully this should be informative as well as entertaining for you. So you might just want to sit and watch it, you might want to play along. So if that's what you want to do, stop the video here, get yourself all set up and what have you, and we'll make a bit of a start on it, right? So that's what we'll do right now. Right, so here we are over in section 1, and what we're going to do now is we're going to do the warm-up. Very, very important at the beginning of each and every practice session that you warm yourself up. Right, so what we're going to do is, as always, as we always do, all we're doing is just throwing towards the ball and just getting that feel for the darts, getting that thing of that arm nice and loose so it don't feel like it's in a bucket of cement anymore or like you're wading through mud. So we're just basically, just all it's about this is just getting the arm flowing so it's nice and relaxed. Warm those muscles up. Oh, pull the last one. Always nice to do something like that when you first sing it, when you first start practicing. First two went in, I thought the last one were going to go. Oh dear, that last one was terrible. Right, so I've done 3 or 4 visits now. What you do is stop the video, so all you do is click pause. You keep warming up until you're happy with the way that your arm's functioning and everything, and you're happy the way that everything goes, and then just start the video again. Right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to start our first practice routine, and again, this is what we're going to do is we're going to be going for some doubles, right? As I've said to you on 1001 occasions, I always say this, always go and practice the doubles that you say you don't like, because all that is if you've got an individualistic throw, that is your muscle memory telling you that it doesn't like going for those numbers because it's not comfortable doing that. It's really, really important that you get comfortable going for those numbers that your body tells you don't like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, let's say start on something that we very rarely ever go for, and that is double 13. So what we'll do is we'll just go for double 13, and then what we'll do is we'll go across another one that everybody doesn't like, or a lot of people say they don't like, is double 9. So what we'll do is we'll do double 13 first, and what we'll do is we'll do 3 visits for it. The importance of this is how relaxed it is, not whether you hit the double 13 or not. We're not trying our hardest to hit the double 13. What we're doing is we're trying to get the darts nice and close to it, but effortlessly. So there we go, that's my 3 visits for double 13, and as I said, what we'll do now is we'll go across to double 19. Right, now you've 2 ways of going for your numbers, so basically your doubles. You can either move across the hockey and keep that vertical forearm and everything in a nice straight line. So basically if you're going for 13s, move across so as you're level with 13s. Same over here, move yourself across till you're level with 9s, I went way too far then. Move yourself so as you're level with 9s and go straight for them. If you're in a combo shot and you're a rhythm player, then that might disturb you. If you go for treble 20, treble 17, double 13, whichever way you want to say it, double 9, doesn't matter. If you don't want to stop, readjust and think you've got to then learn how to adjust your body across. So basically it's that tiny little bit of adjustment there to go across to the 9s or the 13s. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stay in the centre of the hockey, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to adjust my body across. Now you won't see this happen for the simple reason is it's just that it's a natural movement for me. And if you do decide to have a go at the Dynamite Dave way and stick to it, then this is what will happen for you. As I come up to go for the double 9, I'm already in position there. I've already turned my body that tiny little bit. I know exactly where it needs to be. So again, nice and relaxed. Doesn't matter whether you get it in the double 9 or you don't get it in the double 9. What you're trying to do is get those darts closer. Because what will happen is you'll start off a fair way away from it and it will get closer and closer and closer. And as you start to build that knowledge of exactly where your body needs to be and exactly how your throw needs to push the dart towards where you want it to go, or if you're in a Dynamite Dave way, it's all dead basic and dead simple. So that was visit 1, and all we're doing is just relaxing into it. Centre of the hockey again, and just placing those darts up towards that double 9, just so as it's absolutely effortless. Boom. As you saw that last one. Last one, last visit. See, now I'm perfectly happy with that. Absolutely not a problem at all. Really happy with that. Nice and simple, nice and straightforward, nice and relaxed. Right, so now what we'll do is we'll come down and we'll do the same sort of thing again, but we'll do 16s and 10s. Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll do the left-handers and the right-handers, as they say, but to me, it's irrelevant. So what we'll do is we'll go for the right-hander one first, which is 16s. As I said, exactly the same thing again, nice and relaxed. For me, it's a tiny alteration in the body position. A tiny alteration. That's it. So from your treble 20, it looks quite a lot when you're going from 20s, but your zero position obviously is your bull. So you can come across and down to it and then bump like that if that's what you want to do. And as you can see, the throw remains the same. Every single, if you rewind this back, play it in slow motion, whatever you want to do, the throw remains the same all the time. And as you can see, there's 2 there on the wire. Absolutely effortless. And as I say, we're practicing. We're not trying as hardest to get it into the double 16. This is all about, you know, when you go to throw for that double 16, no matter what happens, it's going to go close. Like you see on the telly, when they miss it, they don't miss it by much. And this is the reason, because this is what they do. They practice and they practice and they practice, so as it gets nice and relaxed and dead easy for them to put the dart right next to where they want it to go. Right, third and final visit. Oh, and that last one was a Jockey Wilson, if you saw that. Right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to set ourselves up for 10s. So as I say, I'm staying in the centre of the hockey. You can move yourself along if you want to keep that forearm vertical and what have you, and you're halfway down the Dynamite Dave path, then that's what you'll want to be doing. Now that's starting to drop. put the last one there, but last one of the last visit. Like I say, that's 10s, and you can do that all the way around the board if you want, but what I would suggest you do is do it randomly. So 13s like I did, 13s 9s or 13s 7s, just randomly go around the board and just do 3 visits at each individual double, and that will probably take you a good half an hour anyway. Right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to have a little bit of a break. So what we're going to do now is go to a little bit of a break. So pause the video, or you can carry on, it's all entirely up to yourselves. And what we'll do is we'll come back and do something completely different. If you like some one-to-one coaching, then just get in touch with me at dj.llewellyn123@outlook.com. That's dj.llewellyn123@outlook.com. All the information will be in the description below, so just underneath this video. If you want any coaching, get in touch with me, and I'll send you a full price list of exactly how much it costs and what's involved in doing it. Right, so thanks, and let's get on with the video. So let's get back there now. Right, so now we're back, and what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of focused chucking, right? So what I call focused chucking. So basically this is about your scoring on your 20s, but don't forget you can use this on your 19s, your 18s and your 17s, because as you know, what I purport is a massive part of the game is using those 17s, because it's got that odd one. If you know what I mean, if you hit 51, it's dead easy to calculate out. Same thing if you go for 7s. If you want, let's say 121, there's nothing stopping you going for treble 20 if you hit it, treble 7 if you miss it, 14 for tops. So it's you know what I mean, make it as simple as possible. That's the Dynamite Dave way, is what I'm saying to you, is make it as simple as possible. What you're going to need for this, it's going to absolutely bankrupt you. You know what I mean, all these plastic rings and what have you that you pay 10 quid for, this is going to absolutely bankrupt you, this. 2 sheets of A4 paper, simple as that. That's all you need, and 3 spare darts. That's all you need to do this. Right, so what we'll do is we'll set it up on the board, so let's go and do that right now. Right, so as you can see, we've set the 2 sheets of paper up there, and you're probably thinking to yourself, what on earth is that all about? It's called straight down the line throwing. Right, so this is your straight down the line chucking, to get yourself throwing in a nice straight line. Little bit of a game this, as well as a practice routine. And what we do is we have 10 visits. This is it's not the beginner's way. You can widen them out a little bit more if you want to, if you're a beginner, but what you want to be doing is you want to be aiming to get into that centre section there, 50% of what you think, what you're throwing. So it can be a little bit of a trial and error to find out where you start from. So where you start from could be a lot more advanced than that. What I'll do is at the end of this little practice session, I'll show you some of the more advanced setups that I use. But the great thing about using a couple of sheets of A4 paper is, you think about it, you can go to Tesco's or wherever, but 3.5, 4 quid, you can get a full scrap of that, which is 1,000 sheets of paper, which is 500 setups like that. But don't forget, when you're using them like that, you'll see what I'm talking about as we go along. But what you can do with that is you can turn them round to do your next one. So now we've warmed up, what we're doing is we're going straight down the line throwing, and what we're doing is we're not particularly throwing at the 60, but what we're doing is we're trying to get it in that 20 bed. But what I've done is I've left a scope on it, on this one. The advanced one, you'll see why, and you'll see what I mean. But what we do is we start off, we do 10 visits, right, so 10 visits is 30 darts, so 30 darts, count how many holes you've got in the paper. So if you've got 15 holes in the paper, you're 50%, yeah, dead simple, isn't it? If you do 5, you're running at, it's above 75%, it's nearer 80. So that's how you judge yourself. If you're doing 75%, so if you're hitting 20 out of 30 darts in the gap, so you're getting less than 10 marks, 10 holes in the paper every time you do it, then you move them in a centimetre either side, let's say a centimetre. So move them in by a centimetre either side, yeah? So here we go, let's have a go at it. So that's visit number 1. Visit number 2, and I've got my first hole. Visit number 4. Visit number 5. Visit number 6, and I've got my second hole. It's right on the edge, but it's still a hole. Visit number 7. Just about got away with that one, I think. Visit number 7. Oh, visit number 8, and I've got a hole on the other side. Visit number 9. Oh dear. And there we go for the last visit. And that's visit number 10. Right, as we can see there, you won't be able to see from there, so what I'll do is I'll zoom it in. Right, so that's the 10th visit. As you can see from there, I can see from here I have got 1, 2, 3, 4 holes. So out of 30 darts, I've got 4 holes. So that means I'm running well above me thingy, me 75% stroke 80% level. So that means that I can now move those pieces of paper in. I can either do it vertically to move them in, so we've got a straight down the line, and don't forget we can come further down, we can aim for the bullseyes and what have you. It just gives you that lovely straight down the line arm action, and that's what we're trying to achieve with this. So what I'll do now is I'll show you a couple of other configurations of what I actually do with them. Yeah, so let's go and do that now. Right, so here we are over at the board, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some of the configurations for this. Right, take them down to start off with and then pin them back up again. Right, this is another one which is more advanced, which is you move that so as it's actually on level with the 60, but again in a straight line. So 60 bed, straight line down. Same on the other side. What we do is we get them vertical and slide it in to the 60 bed. Right, so that, as you can see it now, is configuration number 2. That's come further in, and that is giving you a really true straight down the line chuck. That's the width of the 60 bed. So you know for a fact, if you can keep them within that line up to your 75 to 80%, then you think you're rocking. You know what I mean? You're doing really, really well, and it means that you're going to walk away with 60. 41s, maybe 45s every now and again, but you're going to average 60, so that's a 60 average. If you can hit it within those 2 lines all the time, that's a 60 average. And if you clip a treble 20 every 1 or 2 visits, then you're up towards the 80s, aren't you? So it just shows what a massive difference that makes. Right, and what we'll do now is I'll show you a couple of other configurations, and this is what I do when I'm practicing. This is the way I do it. So as you can see, that's the next one. That's your 20 bed. Yeah, so that's your 20 bed. For that, you cover shots, you're coming down. We do exactly the same with the 19s, but the other way up. And we use that for cover shot. And what I'll do with that is I will make the pieces of paper the same length as the actual 19 bed, so they only come up to the actual bullseye. When I get these teeth in for my gran, they only come up to the bullseye. And then what I'll do is I'll use that on the 19s, 18s and 17s, and then we move it round again. We'll come to the 17s, so what we'll do is we'll do 20s or 18s for 17s, and just basically mix it up, make it fun rather than just hammering at the same sections of the board all the time. As I always say to you, this one is 10 visits, mostly normally between 3 and 5 visits for everything. But when you're doing this, obviously, as that datum line, the 30 darts, so it's your 10 visits, nice and straightforward. Right, so that is the second play along practice. Don't forget you can stop this video, you can pause it wherever you want to carry on, because obviously you're going to want to have a go at that. I've had one go at it, but I would normally have a go at the 20s, then I'd move it go for the 19s. I mean, you can even do it on all the sections if you want to, right down to 1 if that's what you want to do. But absolutely fantastic little game that for improving yourself. Right, so hopefully you've enjoyed today's play along practice. Don't forget, lads and lasses, you will only ever get out of this game what you're prepared to put in, and that is an absolute fact. If you're prepared to put the perseverance in, if you want to change to the Dynamite Dave way, if you put that effort in, it will reward you tenfold. There's many people now that just give it a go, and within a day or two, it takes time, it takes your patience, and it also takes some dedication. So don't forget, lads and lasses, you'll only ever get out of this game what you're prepared to put in. And always, 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 toe to the hockey.